Today, I want to build a house in The Sims from back to front. Last week, I did a challenge where I built a house from left to right, which meant instead of building the floor plan first and going room by room, we built the house as we went tile by tile. A lot of you suggested to do the same thing, but start at the back of the lot and come towards the front, so that's what we're doing today. And before we get into it, I am part of the EA Career Network and I've been gifted a couple packs in the past. I do also have a creator code Sarah that you can use when checking out on the EA app or thesims.com. If you'd like to financially support me, I will make a small commission. Don't feel like you have to. Let's get into the video. So I've got us on this pretty big lot, and I remember last time I did not think about terrain paint at all. So what I think actually might be a little helpful is if we start with terrain paint, because that way we can kind of like draft out where we want the landscaping to go and then just fill it in. And I think this is kind of all I want to do here because I'm going to draw a fence. So this is going to be tile number 1. And moving on to the next tile, I obviously want to get a fence. And I think I like this one from Get Together. I also kind of do enjoy putting some landscaping right up against the fence when I do huge yards like this. So I think that is mainly what this tile is going to be, but I'm also going to make sure that I'm adding the landscaping on the other side as well. And another thing the comments on the last video said was that if I'm placing an item that goes over more than one tile, I'm allowed to adjust it up until the item actually ends, as long as it still stays somewhere on the first tile that we placed it, if that makes any sense. I just want to make sure that we are carrying over the terrain paint in the way that I want. And I think that's our second tile done. So moving on to the third, I am just going to bring the fences out. We are still very much in the backyard. It's a little weird to be in the landscaping mindset the first thing I do in the build before the house even exists. But because this lot is huge, I did want to make sure that we had like a nice big tree to fill in the yard, like this oak tree. And I think that'll be our third tile. So let's move on to the fourth. I'm going to bring everything out again. And I think I do want a pool here, but am I starting it? I don't think I'm starting it on this tile. I don't even think I'm starting like the pool deck on this tile. So there's tile number 4. We're moving quite quickly, but that is just because I like when the yards have a lot of nice big open space for running around and activities. And I think let's get our first piece of like actual furniture, and I'm gonna do a cute little bench under the tree here. Oh, I probably should have just terrain painted a little bit around the fence here just so it doesn't look like it like very abruptly cuts off. Uh-oh. It is what it is. Let's move on. Tile number 6. Maybe it was kind of better that I forgot terrain paint in the last video. Maybe it just would have been very bad. I do think this is where I want to start the pool deck. This is where we actually have to think about what kind of style we are going with for the house. I kind of want to do a very natural stone for the pool deck, maybe even this one. This is going to start to get interesting because what I want in my head is a little like walking path from the sitting area to like the main deck area with the pool. And so having to do that tile by tile and not just being able to be like, hee hee, yay, is gonna be a little tough. Also, landscaping along the path before we know how the rest of the path is going to look. Ooh. And moving on to tile number 7, I'm going to start by just giving us some more stone tile for the pool and continue our pathway. I really do like these patio lights, so I probably should have thought to put them all the way right here, but I didn't, and I think they'll be okay if we put them one tile in like that. I never add the romantic blanket. Do I kind of want to add it right here? Or maybe we could wait and do it like here. I kind of want a swing set, and I always like to add a little touch of realism and do the little like dirt patches under the swings. I think we might be ready to move on to the next tile. I just realized I actually did want to add some lounge chairs on this last one, but if we're putting the center of the lounge chairs on this tile, maybe that's okay. We just won't get the little tables in between them like that, but maybe we could do the towel station like right here, or maybe it makes more sense up against the fence like this. Our main project right now is of course our little pathway that we're working on. So I want to try to bring this here, and do I want a little bit of it here before you get to the swings maybe? I think that is what I want. It's looking a little strange, but there is our 8th tile. Moving on to the 9th, I'm bringing out our fences, I'm bringing out our pool deck, and here we are back with terrain paint. I think this is where we're connecting these pathways up like that. But what's going on with the lighting situation? I might get a couple of these like standing lights. I should have considered the nighttime lighting situation a lot of tiles ago. I checked our terrain paint. I think that is actually it for this tile. I want to move on to tile number 10, and it looks like we do need another hedge, and our pool is going to kind of start there. And here's where we can fill in a lot of the landscaping along this little path. And it just occurred to me that I haven't been painting dirt under the rest of the plants here. Better late than never, I guess. And with that, we have completed 10 tiles back to front of this house, and yet we haven't started actually building the house yet. Moving on to the 11th tile, of course, I'm bringing out our fences again. The terrain paint didn't really turn out exactly how I intended it to. Like, this little weird landscaping moment was not something I was anticipating. I don't really know where the ladder should go. We can hold off on that. And maybe I want to add an underwater pool light. And not too much going on in that tile. Let's move on to tile number 12. And I think this one is where I want to add the romantic blanket. I think we'll start that right there and maybe get a couple candles around. Okay, cool. We're moving quickly. Let's go on to number 13. And like the first thing I'm trying to remember is getting the terrain paint under the landscaping here. And then we go right back into the landscaping here, which I think kind of extends maybe like almost to the blanket. And then maybe there's just like a little bit of dirt leading to the blanket. I don't know if that even makes a lot of sense. It looks so weird so far. When do I actually start building the house? I don't know, but I know it wasn't on tile 13. Moving on to tile 14, terrain paint, terrain paint. Did I start this not as far back on the lot as I should have? Because now I feel like we're gonna end up with a really like smushed house. I'm trying to do a little symmetry here with the landscaping, the weird landscaping I was talking about, so that it looks a little more normal. Anyway, let's move on to our 15th tile and bring out our fences. It does look like I kind of forgot to terrain paint under the 14th tile, or at least as much as I wanted to. Oh well. Trying to make this as symmetrical as possible. And this is kind of where I'm thinking the path tapers off terrain paint wise. I really do not like the little like dirt area right up by there at the end of the day. It looks really weird. Can I make it look any better? Can I landscape us out of a situation? Not really. It still does not look great. But if I put a rock, you kind of can't see it, right? Tile number 15 is done. Let's move on to tile number 16. Bringing out our fences, and this is where I'm gonna try to like add a little bit of landscaping and kind of do something like this that looks almost symmetrical. It's more symmetrical than not symmetrical, I'll say that. And I think this is going to be the last tile of our pool. Okay, that's it. Terrain paint is satisfactory. Let's move on to tile number 17. And I have to start wondering where the house is going to start. In the weirdest way, I think it's better for me not to think about how the house is gonna look right now, and I just need to finish the backyard, and then I'll probably have a better idea. That's probably a bad idea, but we're full of bad ideas on this channel. Okay, let's move on to the 18th tile. I mainly was trying to see if anything like this would be of interest. I think if I had had the forethought on the 17th tile to do something like that, it wouldn't be that bad. We could always do something like that, and then maybe like landscape ourselves out of this situation with some landscaping on the 18th tile right here. No, I forgot a pool ladder. Why didn't I think of that? I literally kept talking about the pool ladder and then I forgot one. It's okay because in The Sims they'll just get out on their own. I also forgot I was gonna put pool lights on the other side. Oh, wow. Also, what is the landscaping doing over here? We just missed a whole tile apparently. I did. Who's we? I'm the only one that can take the blame. I think in a practical sense, I would not mind a couple planters. And that is our 18th tile. Let's go to the 19th. I did in fact forget to terrain paint right there. No, we're losing steam. I think maybe when we get to the 20th tile, I'll try to see if I can get a gate right there. I should have terrain painted a little bit under the garden pots too, but I didn't do that. I guess I don't actually have to think about if I'm drawing a wall there till the next tile. So let me think for a second what else we might want out here. Like a grill. We always want a grill. Unless I'm actually doing gameplay, in which case I do not want a grill. And when I wanted to use the Riviera retreat table, but I didn't. Why? But if I get one of these tables, I can technically place it on this tile or on the little border of this tile, and that will work. Before I forget, I'm putting a trash can right there. 19th tile complete. Let's go to the 20th. This is where I said I was going to draw a wall. This is actually the back of the house. It's really happening. That's the gate I want to use, and maybe we'll draw this out to the sidewalk. I feel like this challenge just got 20 times more difficult because I don't even know what I'm doing in the back of the house here. I kind of wanted this to be like a primary bedroom that has access access to the outdoor area, and then there's also access like over here. I must think about windows now. How about these ones? Yay! Maybe we need some curtains. I'm also thinking somehow the bed is over here, so I want to get a side table in here. So I think that's enough for the bedroom part of this, and let's move over to the bathroom. I'm kind of thinking of doing a fun tile on the floor. Why not? And then immediately covering up the tile with the shower tub combo because that's where I want it to go. I just want to add like maybe a big plant, maybe size it down, and it's a little bit smaller of a plant, but it's still kind of a big plant right there. And that's our 20th tile already. Okay, moving on to tile number 21. Let's bring out our walls. And then we also need a bed. What about the businesses and hobbies one, maybe? Or I am a big fan of the growing together one. Let's try that. Wait, are you kidding me? Did I really place this side table just like completely backwards? What possessed me to do that? That is so silly of me. But you know what I need to do before we go any further is think about a rug in here. I kind of wonder if this well-traveled rug could look okay because we have some of the green accents going on. But I'm just really worried again about when we close off the room if the lighting will look really strange. This is actually gonna be a pretty long bathroom, I'm realizing, because if it's supposed to go with the primary suite, the door is probably going to be right here. So I might give us a lot of space and add the toilet like right here. And we'll get our towel racks. Ooh, and I shall not forget a bath mat right there. Could be nice. I do want a small window like above the toilet. It'll look better when I draw the other walls. And speaking of, I think it is time to move on to the 22nd tile. This will be the last one of this little patio area. I am realizing I wanted to put some chairs right there to have a little outdoor seating area, but oh well, I suppose we can do something like this. We're going to have a door right there. I'm also thinking the house extends all the way over here, right? That's kind of my truth. Something else I wanted to do here was maybe get like a half tile counter. I actually should have thought about that before I placed the toilet. It's not bad that the toilet is right there, but like it kind of is. I wouldn't normally do that in a build, but I think your Sims should still be able to use it. And before I forget, oh my goodness, let's get our super subtle saucer lights. I'm gonna let myself add windows when we get to the next tile because then I'll have more of an idea of the floor plan. This is going to be our 22nd tile. Moving on to the 23rd. Against my better judgment, I think I'm gonna try to do a second floor. I feel like that makes the most sense because of how like smushed the house is feeling already. But before I really start thinking about up there, let's just get like the rest of the bathroom going. I guess I'll do a sink and a mirror. And back in here to the bedroom, I will put a correctly facing end table. And in my last video, I really did not plan for a desk in the way that I should have. So I want to get one in here. This room is really long, but I will remember a desk and a desk chair. And who knows, maybe I'll even remember a little like picture above the desk. But wait, where is a dresser going? Or a mirror? I think I see a little bit of a vision in my head, but we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there. And here's where it really starts to get interesting. I did in fact want this to be kind of a laundry room. And now I'm like, why did I make this so big? I had to sit here and marinate for a really long time and do a lot of this with the grid on. And I think we pivot. I think we're pivoting. I think this is the kitchen. I think we're going to have the kitchen right here with a nice beautiful window and a nice beautiful trash can. It will make sense. It will make sense. I'm telling myself that as much as I'm telling you that it will make sense. So we've decided that that is the kitchen. So what's over here then? Is this the living room? Wait, I have an idea. This is the living room and this is a half bath. Now, if this is the living area, do I want a basket of cozies? Right there, and then the couch will kind of be there. I think it's coming together. I think that's everything I want on the first floor for this tile. Now we have to think about the second floor. In the interest of a nice looking back of the house, maybe we'll do these big windows again. I thought this could be like a nice big bathroom. We'll have like a standalone tub. And wait, what if we did do the wood accent on the wall there? Would that be really weird? I don't know. But like with some marble tile, ooh. I kind of have a plan. It may not end up looking good. And then I think this will be a kid's room and this will be a guest room. So for the kids room, I want to get the bed like right up against the wall. It looks so weird right there now because if you're rolling out of bed, you're falling off. I think they'll have a dresser right here. Now in the guest room, I'm thinking I'll just keep this pretty basic. I do have a feeling we're gonna end up with a pretty big hallway. That's the only thing. I feel like it's probably better if I clutter more than I think I will need to because I feel like last time the house ended up looking pretty empty. I am gonna add a side table in the guest room right here. And I think this is our 23rd tile. Is that even what we're on? I've been on this tile for way too long. I'm declaring it done. Let's move on to tile number 24, I guess. This half bath is getting closed in. The bedroom and the bathroom are getting closed in as well. The flooring is a lot grayer than I thought it was going to be. And the tiles in the walls are not as much of a match as I thought they were. We kind of have to figure out what to do with this wall. And I think we do a door here and then obviously a door into the bathroom here. And we also need a dresser. I was thinking we could do that one right there. I guess we could like squeeze a mirror next to the door. I'm like, is it even beneficial to try to warm it up in here with some lights, some different lights? I don't think so. This is what I mean by I feel like I need to clutter whenever I think of it because this isn't the worst room, but it does look like a lot of empty space to me. And to keep it so real with you, I truly do not remember what flooring I had for the half bath here. I'm like, did I just have spa day? Kind of feels like maybe I just had spa day. I think the riskiest thing I'm going to do is put the door there. It makes sense with how I see the rest of the house going in my head, but I'm always seeing Sims builds in my head that cannot ever exist in the game in real life because of proportions or anything like that. And I've been forgetting terrain paint. It's like as soon as we go in the house, boom, boom, forgetting terrain paint. I do think I'm going to get us a couch. This is where our couch is going to go. I'm just coming upstairs at this point. Let's keep it going. Oh no, every time I pull this out, it's going to bring everything else with it. I guess we'll survive. As for up here in the bathroom, I said I had a plan and my plan was to put the shower right here. And then we'll put the toilet right there, a little cabinet above the toilet, a bath mat. And then in the guest room, we should just get any kind of like double bed. Wait, we need something on the wall. Nice, pretty dream home decorator painting. We need some rugs in here. Wait, would this one look really good? Because we have like a blue on the walls and neutral everything else. That looks so weird. Love that. I think I am going to go with this. It might end up looking bad, but darling, what if you fly? What if it looks really good? And maybe something like that in the kids' room. I am declaring tile number 24 is done, which means we have to move on to tile number 25. How did I forget that the kitchen exists? How did I forget that the kitchen exists? I think I assumed that I already did it. We also got no more clutter or anything. Why did I call it done? Why did I call it done? Obviously, I could just edit this out and be like, I didn't say it was done. Let's continue. No, it's called integrity. Unfortunately, this has really thrown me off. I don't care that much about the half bath. The half bath, it's hard to make them interesting anyway. I don't want to talk about it. Where do we even put the stove now? That's where the stove was supposed to go. Here's my idea to at least keep it functional. I'm like, maybe they're waiting for like a very fancy range to be installed. And currently they just have an oven. So then I also wanted to come over here. I want this to be a laundry room. We're actually doing the laundry room over here. Now, the next thing that I have to think about, I have to turn the grid on. How far does the kitchen extend? Because I was going to do the fridge next to the stove moment. I'm wondering if I should put the fridge over here. It's a little weird. It really breaks up the space. I don't know. We might be able to get away with giving the kitchen one more tile, but that was not my initial plan. Coming over to the living room, which I think I forgot about this too, because we do need a TV, we need a rug, we need quite a few things that I probably could have put in the last tile. What I want to know about this Strangerville one is like, is this gray or is it blue enough to go with the navy on the wall? I know the businesses and hobbies one, this is pretty navy. This could work for us. I think the first floor of this tile is done. Going up here, there's not really anything I want to do in the guest room Over here, maybe I'll add the lights again. We'll do a little bit of lights right there. And I did want to get a desk, so we'll do that, and we'll get a desk chair, and we'll do the cute little setup right there. I wanted to get this item right here, and we'll set it to the pan flag swatch. In the bathroom, if we want a double sink, we probably should start it here. Which one of these wood swatches matches the one that we have right there? We'll just go with that one, I guess. Actually, this might be it for this tile. I think this tile is done. So here is everything we have so far with 25 tiles. Moving on to tile number 26. This is going to close off the laundry room and give us this really awkward hallway. I have to decide if we're doing a wall there in the living room, or if we're going to kind of leave this open. Maybe we do that. Let me make sure I add a fridge, because I can totally see myself just being like, hey, guess we don't have a fridge, accidentally. I probably should get something else over here by the TV. Do I want a chair like that? I might leave it. In the laundry room, I might just do the broom and maybe just some towels right there. And let's actually get a window. So upstairs, this is what is going to finish off this room. Still doesn't really think it's a room. Okay, cool. That is also now a room. And the bathroom is also now a room, but the game doesn't think so. What if I did the wood accent on this side of the bathroom too? Get some towels. Yeah. Okay, cool. Maybe a mirror in the kids' room. Ooh, that one's kind of funky fun. We'll get another side table in the guest room. I guess I didn't put like a dresser or anything in the guest room. I am not thinking straight, but we can do a little mirror right there. Now I actually think I am going to try to do a wall there. I also want a wall here, but I'm not ready to think about that yet, because I can think about it on the next tile. Why are the hedges on this side bigger than this side? I don't know what possessed me to do that, but I think this tile is done. Let's move on to the 27th tile. I think I'm gonna do that. My plan is that this is just gonna be a garage. Like, I'm just gonna put some debug cars in it and like the woodworking table. Or now that we have the restoration workshop stuff, I guess we could do that. We kind of have to start thinking about how the upstairs is going to work, because how do you get up here? Okay, I think this is what I want to do with the stairs. I'm sorry for thinking of that before I got to the tile, but like technically I am on the tile because the stairs go right there. I think we will do some of the stuff from restoration workshop in here. That seems kind of fun. Oh, what about the authority in the corner at the end of the hall? I mean, is there anything better? Down here, I did just also want to maybe add like a picture or something. Maybe this one from, what is that, backyard stuff? Let me make sure that I painted all my walls that I cannot go back and paint later. So like that one. Looks like I forgot a little bit of landscaping. So I'll do that. I think I'm declaring this tile done. I'm actually gonna take a quick break because my brain is getting really tired of thinking about this. Okay, I'm back, refreshed, ready to lock in. We are moving on to the 28th tile. I'm gonna just start by bringing out the hallway, just because I think we're basically almost done with the hallway. This is where like a couple runner rugs could go. I do think what I should be thinking about right now is a fence right there, because I feel like that is something I would so easily forget. That might be all I want for the upstairs. So coming back down, we are getting another tile of our garage. I haven't committed to these steps. I don't really like care if I choose to change them. I have to think about how this is going to be the entryway too. I guess if this is the dining area though, maybe we should get like a couple decorations on the wall. Or what about like the one tile bar right here? I don't think so. I also think in this little spot, I'm just going to add a plant. I'll paint our walls and remember our terrain paint and landscaping. And I think that is tile 28 done. So now we move on to tile 29, which is going to finish up this hallway right here. I guess we have to draw our fence here. And now we've got windows to figure out. What if I went with the slightly smaller ones up here? Just because I think the other ones could really overwhelm the wall. I wouldn't say that that is like looking really good or anything, but it might be the best we can do. I don't know. I kind of just want like a couch up here, you know, just like a chill little like cozy vibe. Ooh, and make like a little custom bookshelf in between. Is that anything? That could be nice. Oh no, wait, I don't think we added any like lights, any overhead lights in the hallway. Did I not add any in any of these rooms? I don't see them. I don't know. I'm doing that as our railing, but I'm actually just going to cover it up because this is going to be the entryway like this. This doesn't seem right at all. Like whatever's going on here, that doesn't seem right. Wait, are you kidding me? Did I actually forget to paint this wall? Did I really do that? There's no way that I simply forgot to paint that wall in the the kitchen. I'll have to review the tapes. But for now, can I interest you in some shoes? And maybe even a burglar alarm, yes. The scary thing here is that we have to do this as the dining room, and we only have 4 tiles maximum left after this. So I think we just do a 4-seater. That might make the room feel a little too big for what it will end up being. Unless we wanted to orient it this way and then plan to do chairs on the end, that could work. Now, would we add those chairs here too? Because technically those do touch this tile. I'm getting more of these cats and dogs paintings. Oh, in the garage. I probably should, you know, draw the walls and do everything like that. And we have this little spot right here by the door to the garage. And how about a lovely, beautiful random chair? The terrain paint inconsistency is just, it's really something. I think we are done with tile number 28, 29. We're done with the next tile and we are moving on. So we are done with the second level of the house, and on the first level, I'm getting another window in the dining area and carrying all this around here. Here, it is very important to me to add just like some ivy or something to cover up how kind of weird this is. I don't know about that. Is this where I can grab a rug for the dining area too? I'm glad I thought of that because I really almost forgot. I also don't think that the table is centered in the room, is it? You know, you win some and you also do lose some. We did not get an entryway mat inside, so let me try to remember to do this outside. All of the cars are so much bigger than I thought. Why do I never remember how big the cars are? There really was only supposed to be 1 more tile of the garage, but I think we're going to have to do 2 tiles, and that's even cutting it real close. How about this one? 2 tiles would not cut it too close with this one. I want to say that with some terrain paint, I think that's the 30th tile of the build. We literally only have 3 more to work with. I'm kind of scared. So this is going to be the last tile of the dining room, or this side of the house really as a whole. And yeah, no, that's not centered. A couple windows right there. And I actually think for visual interest, I'm doing the stone right there as well. I think I'm extending our front porch here. And of course, our garage, which is still going for another tile after this. I guess we finish up our landscaping on this side. I almost forgot to paint this wall. I really almost declared us done without painting that wall. Everything else is painted though. I think that's it. I think we are coming out here with our last tile, the 32nd tile. Okay, so it wants that to be a room. It didn't want anything else to be a room. I swear I added a light. Future Sarah, review the tapes. I guess it's not that big of a deal because when I close this in, like I can still add a light here on this tile, which isn't the best, but it is what it is. And now I'm going to make our little makeshift garage door. So what you do here is you take some of these light box windows and just do them like that. You get some columns like this, and then you can kind of put anything you want in the center there if you want wood paneling. I think I like this one. Wait, didn't I say I was gonna add the woodworking table? I said I was gonna add the woodworking table, which I actually can fit right here. Maybe I'll put a little bit more landscaping right there. Now I have to make everything an actual room and roof it. I guess I can build a ceiling like that and then just use that as a starting point to cover up everything else. There is literally no way that I forgot lights in all of these. Wait, everything looks so gray. I think it's these walls. As for the actual roofing on here, it made sense in my head. I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. We'll have like some cute roofing. We have a bump out. It'll be fine. Is it? The gabled roof is kind of making a few points. But now I'm like, wait, no, I like the hipped roof. Wait, you know what? I forgot our actual last tile is that. I forgot that we were putting stuff on this last tile and it is that. Anyway, let's just get into the final tour of building a house from back to front. I actually don't think the house is that bad. This is another one where I'd love to just like renovate it with the existing shell and layout. I think I should have started further back on the lot so that our house didn't feel so like smushed. I don't know if it felt like that to you, but it did to me. But let me know what other directions I should build in and any other build challenges that you want to see, because I love doing the ones that you suggest. And if you made it this far in the video, comment a light bulb emoji, because that apparently is what we need in this house. And if you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel as well. We're always doing something silly goofy in The Sims over here. YouTube thinks you will like whatever video it's showing you on the the screen right now. I also do live stream on Twitch. That link is down below. All my other socials are down below. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a lovely tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!